quite interesting. Before I show you, I'm going to do my shout outs real quick, and then we'll get right down to the eating part. Now, when I did the Hardy Boys, I forgot to do the shout out for Fabian Link. I waited until the end of the video, and I like to do my shout outs at the beginning. So, Fabian Link, I'll give you another shout out. Mark Grunman 14. So, Mark Grunman, shout out to you. Andrew Ashley, a big shout out to you as well. So, Fabian, Mark, and Andrew, big shout out, and a big shout out to all of you as well. Okay. So, I have some French fries, and oh yeah, a Bison burger. Now, it kind of came apart there. There's my Bison burger right there. Looks really good. That looks awesome. I'm gonna set that there and put that right there. Wow, look at the size of that thing. That's huge. All kinds of fried onions on there and everything. Oh, that's good. Got some French fries. Wow, those are really good. They gave me a dipping sauce. A basil dip, really good. Now, this is from a place called Bin 4 Burger. It's a smaller franchise, and I always saw some little takeout places, kind of like Big Wheel Burger, But I walked in there today, and it's like a beautiful restaurant. Looks almost somewhat high end, Very well done, very huge, excellent service. So it really surprised me. That's good Bison. I've had Bison several times. This is only the third time I've had Bison from a restaurant. Now, I used to get Bison years ago at a grocery store that my ex worked at. So we used to buy it there all the time. And then, the last time I had Bison in a restaurant was this year, Father's Day, 2023. That dip was really good. It's a basil dip. And that was good, but the burger was kind of small. The bag was kind of small. It wasn't very big. But the first time I had Bison in a restaurant was when Linda and I drove across Canada in 2015. And we were in Newfoundland. And I ordered a Bison burger. And I was staying in touch with my son here in BC by text. And I told him I was having a Bison burger. He said, did it come with ketchup and mustard? Good sense of humor. So anyways, you may have guessed, but I'm going to be talking about Bison today. That's fantastic. Those caramelized onions really make a difference. Got my go-to bubbly. So, in 2015, Linda and I drove across Canada. As a lot of you of my followers from the early months, you already know that because I made a video called Canada 360, where I was eating pizza and talking about it. So anyways, we drove across Canada. Now, I live in British Columbia. There's Alberta, Saskatchewan, where I was born, and Manitoba. And Manitoba and Saskatchewan are quite similar because they're both prairie provinces. Prairie farmland, that sort of thing. The lower part is the rolling hills, and then more central, and all is flatter. And as you go beyond central, it gets more scenic, more lakes and trees and wilderness and that sort of thing. So Linda and I decided what we didn't see on the way across Canada, we'd try and see on the way back. So, all those fries are amazing. So, like I said, we're on the road for 6 weeks. Now, we stayed in a lot of truck stops and a lot of Walmart parking lots. Now, we would stay in campgrounds once in a while, and it was so nice to get a campground because with a campground you have the toilets, you can do laundry. You also have showers, and when you've been living on a camper for 6 weeks or you're on the road, there's nothing like a hot shower, so that's so nice. So on our way back home, we stopped in Manitoba at a park called Riding Mountain National Park, and it's a beautiful, beautiful park. Beautiful resort there. The lake is called Clear Lake. It's a huge lake. It's about roughly 10 miles by 10 miles. The little resort town is called Wassa Gaming. Wassa Gaming is a beautiful resort town right on the lake. Just beautiful. Lots of souvenir shops and restaurants. Very nice. When we were there, the weather was spectacular. Now, Riding Mountain National Park is home to one of the largest black bear populations in North America. Not to mention, moose, deer, everything else. So when we first got there, we went for a walk through town, and we stopped at we'd always do this, we'd stop at the Tourist Information Center, ask about what there's to see and do and directions, that kind of thing. Wow, that's good. And they told us, there's a couple of young people working there, said you gotta check out the Bison Safari. There's a Bison Safari. And this bison enclosure that you drive through. And we thought, wow, that sounds cool. So they told us that many, many years ago, because the decline of the population of bison due to overhunting and basically the slaughter of all the bison, they had to start, preserving some. So they brought in about, maybe 10 or less from Alberta and transplanted them to Manitoba, to this reserve. But a lot died due to disease and this kind of thing, so, and that was in 1930. So in 1940, they brought some more over, and those ones survived, and the bison that are there today are direct descendants of those same bison from 1940. this bison burger, the sweetness of the caramelized onions, and there's also a little bit of heat in there coming from something. I'm not sure what it is yet, but there's a little bit of heat. They call it the Bison burner. It's not hot, but there's a tiny bit of heat every once in a while. It's really good. I mean, there's a lot of flavor there. So, anyways, so this bison enclosure, like I said, the bison that are there are direct descendants of the ones that were brought in from 1940. Now in Canada, and I think the United States, we call bison buffalo. It's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. This is really good, my friends. It's really good. I'm not just saying that. This is really good. So I may refer to the bison as buffalo every once in a while, but to me it's the same thing. I mean, there's the American buffalo nickel, right? I'm a coin collector, so I got lots of those. Leon Redbone used to sing a song, Big Chief Buffalo Nickel. So anyways, we were told the best time to see these bison was early morning or in the evenings. So they gave us directions how to get there, and we drive down this road for quite a while. We get to the big sign. I think they call it the Audi Lake or Audi Lake. It's A-U-D-I. I think, or is it Y? Anyways, it's either Audi or Audi, but anyway. We drive into this enclosure. I was driving down this gravel road. There's trees around, grassland in the middle, and we're the only ones there. We're driving through and not seeing anything, and we're thinking, man, what a rip. So we just thought, well, we'll drive around. We saw nothing, so we thought, well, we'll drive around the second time. You know, it's a fairly big loop, you know. And there's a few roads sort of darting off here and there. And like I said, we're the only ones there, so we're driving, and Linda said, did you see that big rock? And I said, yeah. I said, it's kind of weird, isn't it? You know, there's this, we're surrounded by trees, this grassland, this big rock just out there. So Linda said, it's kind of weird looking because it had kind of a reddish hue to it. Now the sun was kind of going down a little bit, so we thought it was just the way the sun was hitting it. So there was nobody around. We weren't seeing any bison anywhere. I mean, there was nothing. We're beginning to think that we'd been had, you know. So we get out of the truck. We want to go have a look at this rock. It just seemed kind of weird. We get out of the truck. We walk no more than about 10 feet, and all of a sudden this rock starts to move. Well, we realize it's not a rock. It's a buffalo, a bison, whatever. Just sort of lying on its back, just sort of wallowing around, and all of a sudden it just gets up. Well, as soon as we saw that, we started power walking back towards the truck in a heck of a hurry. We got inside. inside the truck. We had our windows down, but at least inside the truck we felt safe there. But we couldn't believe it. We realized it was a bison. And this thing just stands up and just starts walking around. Walks right over toward our truck. Right in front of our truck. It's just grazing. It's standing on the side of the road grazing. I could hear it munching. Seriously, I'm sitting in the truck with the window down. I hear this munch, munch, munch. That was kind of weird. So we took lots of pictures of it. Some video. And by then a couple of vehicles had arrived. And they stopped behind us. They're watching this bison just grazing. Like I said, it walked right into the road. Got a lot of pictures. Now, one thing I do not advocate, I don't understand why people do this. I see it on Facebook and YouTube where people go right up to these animals, which is not only dangerous, it's very disrespectful. You're putting yourself in danger and others. And it's just disrespectful to do that to an animal, to tease them or whatever. Like I said, we had no idea that was a bison lying down there. We thought it was a rock, honestly. And then when we realized what it was, we were back in the truck like that, you know. So, but I seen this lady on YouTube or Facebook. She's standing beside a bison that's just, it's down on all fours, just sort of chewing its cud. She's standing there taking selfies and whatever. Now, by the time this thing got to its feet, I guess you could have took off. But it's just disrespectful towards the animal to do that. And a bison can outrun you, believe me. I think they can run at about 35 miles an hour. Yeah, it's pretty quick. Faster than me. So we got lots of pictures. The bison, I think that's something to do with the sun going down with the light, but it's kind of like a reddish brown. Big, powerful animal. Wow. Really powerful, great big head on it. So, we sat there for a while, took some pictures. Like I said, that was the only one we saw. As we were leaving, we saw a moose, a female moose saunter across the road. So that was kind of cool. So we went back to our campsite. So the next night, we wanted to go there again. And we talked to some people a little bit earlier. They said they were there and never saw anything. So we're grateful for the one bison we saw. But we wanted to go a second night. So we hop in the truck and camper, drive up there. Start driving around this enclosure, and there's nothing there. was thinking maybe we'd see some more laying down, but it didn't. So, almost ready to give up. Then we see a truck parked on the side road beside some trees. And Linda said, well, there might be something down there. So we went down there, parked behind this truck, and sure enough, right beside it was about half a dozen bison. So we're sitting there watching them. I'm in the driver's seat. And they're on Linda's side of the truck, in the passenger seat. And she has her windows down. And I'm sticking my camera, I'm leaning across, putting my camera out the window. Now I have to tell you, the camera that I was using, the quality isn't all that great, because that was the camera. I bought that camera in 2010. It was the first camera I had bought in the dog's age. I mean, I had cameras in the 70s and 80s, but after that I was into videotape. So I went to buy this camera. I told them I want something that took pretty good pictures but was easy to use, kind of like a point and click. So they sold me this little Canon PowerShot. And that was my main camera on that trip. I've taken on every trip. It doesn't matter where I go, I bring that along as a backup camera. But on this trip, it was my only camera, so it was my main camera. So the quality of the pictures is okay. But the video isn't, it's kind of grainy. And plus, the sun was going down. So we're kind of in low light. So it made it even more grainy, even though it doesn't seem that way. On the videotape, it seems lighter. The sun was actually going down. So I'm leaning out the window across the seat there. Got my camera there. Linda's leaning back like that. And there's a few bison out there. And there's a couple of bison. They kind of seem to be irritated by each other. I said to Linda, I think they're getting ready to go, like to square off. I no sooner said that, and all of a sudden the dust starts flying. They start squaring off, headbutting, pushing each other. Well, all of a sudden I hear the guy in front of me, I hear his truck start. He's getting ready to leave if he has to. Now my concern was that they might just bash right into our truck. If they did, that would cause a lot of damage. Fortunately, that didn't happen. So I got some interesting footage of a couple of bison squaring off. I actually, I put it on my cooking channel a long time ago because I wanted to have something on there because I only had like one cooking video really interesting watching those bison. Now the guy in front of me who started his motor, he just kind of panicked, but he ended up shutting it off and stayed there and watched a little bit because the two bison, they just was a push and shove match for maybe 8 or 10 seconds, and that was it. But we hung out there for, oh man, in that one spot for about a half hour. Then we drove around, and the bison were starting to make their way onto the road. And there was more cars there that night starting to show up. It was very interesting watching them. Saw like a little baby bison. These fries are tasty. But what disappoints me is when they give you stuff like that. I remember one time, about 20 years ago, a bunch of us went to a restaurant. And one of the ladies ordered fries, and she got a whole plate of stuff that looked like that. And she didn't want to say nothing, so on her behalf, I called the waiter over and sent them back. I told her she liked some real fries. But she didn't want to say anything. Too bad because the flavor is really good. So we stayed at Rocky Mountain National Park, like I said, for 2 nights. Took advantage of all the facilities, swam in the lake. Beautiful warm water. Lovely scenery. We did see a black bear right in the campground. And he was quite a long ways away now. That little camera of mine takes good pictures, but the telephoto one is just terrible. I tried using the telephoto and it was just not very good at all. I have a Nikon bridge camera, Coolpix 500B, and the telephoto was excellent on that. Really good. Really good telephoto. Or zoom, I should say. Well, I'm looking forward to going to this restaurant. Not taking out, but actually going in there and sitting down. Because it's a beautiful restaurant, lots of booths and very nice. And I think they have other things besides burgers. But man, I'd love to go there and sit down and have a burger there. Maybe a beer or something to go with it. I have a couple of viewers who always tell me I talk too much. I guess when you're telling stories, it's hard not to. honeycomb cereal video a while back where I didn't talk at all. What I'm gonna do, I was thinking of doing a chicken video because I love chicken videos. And talk, but not tell a story, just talk between bites, you know. Where it'll be about, I'll still be talking, but not as much. Because I get that. And surprisingly, I've had quite a few people say, you don't use a metal fork or a metal spoon. I started using plastic utensils because a lot of people were saying that. The metal spoon and all that was too loud. And I kind of have to agree. You know, it's funny. You don't realize how loud something is. But this Yeti really picks things up. And I don't realize until I play it back and listen to it, like something's like really loud. There's been times I've had to edit things, you know. When I did the pirate video not too long ago, I went to pick up a book and read from the book, and I banged the wall there. It was so loud I had to edit that out because people would have jumped out of their skin if they'd heard that. And my bubbly's always open before I start recording because the sound of this being opened, it's almost enough to, shatter your eardrums. It's really loud. Yeah. So that was my Bison video. Man, that was a good burger. Wow. I like it when people really put something into a burger, like those caramelized onions, and that heat was coming from a little bit of salsa, I think, on there. It was just perfect, you know. I like it when they use just the right amount of everything, you know. So good. You know, I like a good hamburger. A good hamburger is one of my favorite things. But they're not cheap. You know, this place and the other place, Big Wheel, they source locally, and a lot of their patties are, homemade, that sort of thing, or so they claim or whatever. But yeah, the price is kind of up there, you know. But I like supporting local establishments, you know. It's nice. Wow, there it is, my friends. Excuse me, you know what? Yesterday, we got our first day of rain. Okay, since June something, we've had 2 days of rain. We had one a couple weeks ago, and we had one yesterday. And it rained during the night even. We've had no rain up here. You know, the blackberries are a month early, you know. Some of them are plump, but they're not as plump as they should be because of lack of water. But, yeah, just a bit of a drought. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, my friends. I love you all. When it comes to shoutouts, just be patient because I record my videos ahead of time. You want a shoutout, I'll gladly give you one. But just be patient, okay? Because it always takes me about a week to get around to doing it. Because by the time you ask me for a shoutout, I've already recorded probably 2 videos already at that point. So you take care, look after yourselves, look after each other. Thanks for commenting. I love your comments. I read them all, and I do my best to respond to all of them. Okay, so you take care. Stay awesome and stay amazing, and we'll see you later. Okay, bye bye now.